Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayan Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Samacharana Sarojam Sandra Neelambudabham Jaghana Nihidapanim Mandanam Mandananam Taruna Tulasimalam Kantharam Kanjanetram Sadaya Davalahasam Vitthalan Chindayami Vitthalan Chindayami.
To the Lord, and to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We have begun with chapter 6 yesterday. We have done the first 74 Ovis. We are going to begin with shloka number 8. From Mayaya Trigunayatmani Durvibhavyam Vyaktam Srujasvavasi Lumpasi Tadgunasthaha Naitair Bhavanajita Karma Bhirajate Vai Yat Sve Sukhe Vyavahite Bhirato Navadyaha.
Meaning of the verse. O invisible Lord, presiding over the three gunas, born of your Maya, you create, protect, and dissolve this manifest world, which is also not easy to understand, in yourself, and yet remain unaffected by these actions, as you are free from all blemish in the form of likes and dislikes, and hence you remain completely absorbed in the unobscured bliss, which is your very nature. 75. The sleep is not visible when we are asleep, and it is not visible also when we are awakened. Similarly, Maya is not conceivable in the body, and it is not knowable by gods and human beings. 76. O, the Lord of all gods, Sri Krishna, your Maya is beyond concepts, already unknowable, and the modifications of and among the gunas are added to it, and therefore it is not within the scope of gods like Brahma and others. 75. It is you who create the gods, including Brahma, by the means of your divine power, that is Maya. You preserve and protect them and also dissolve them, but you always remain aloof and unaffected by all these actions. Number 78. If a man creates a world in his dream and also destroys it in the dream, he has not any responsibility as the doer of that action. You have also created this world, but you are aloof from it. Number 79. The sun creates mirage by his own rays, and at sunset, he makes it disappear. Similarly, you are unattached even by doing everything. Number 80. When religion is very heavily affected by irreligious actions and when there are calamities in us, you have to come in the manifest world by taking avatara, that is birth. Number 81. You destroy evil things and develop true and pure religion, and you re-establish the gods in their own proper positions. But, O Sri Krishna, you are beyond karma. Number 82. The self-bliss is totally servient to you, but we do not get it even for a moment, and that is why we are very meek and depressed. Number 83. He who is eternally having self-bliss is an incarnation of God, though he is having a physical body. His feet will purify the waters of the Ganga and the seas. Number 84. Though he is living and acting within the field of the three gunas, he should be known as being beyond the gunas. Even a speck of dust of his feet will destroy the greatest sins of all the three worlds. Number 85. This is the greatness of your devotees, but we are actually before your feet. Even by listening to the stories of your glorious adventure, one gets the benefit of self-realization. Number 86. Lucky are those who see your lotus feet. Words cannot describe their greatness. O Master, the power and sacredness of your fame is also similarly great. We will elaborate it. Number 87. If there is already a great fire and still we put in it more fuel, the fire becomes larger and fiercer. Similarly, desire always increases by the pride of our body, but that desire dies away by our listening to your glorious stories.
शुद्धेर्नृणां न तु तथेड्य दुराशयानां विद्याश्रुताध्ययनदानतपः क्रियाभिः सत्त्वात्मनां ऋषभते यशसि प्रवृद्ध सच्छ्रद्धया श्रवणसंभृतया यथा स्यात्.
Meaning of the verse. Praiseworthy and supreme Lord, purification of men of impure mind is not so radically affected through worship, study of scriptures, charity, austerities, rituals, etc., as of pure-minded persons of mature and genuine faith, developed by constant listening about your glory. Number 88. The person who praises the Lord is free from bondage, and the person who hears this praise is also free. Thus, you are the only one who is worthy of all praise. Number 89. Therefore, your praise should be listened to, which is the only purifier. All other means of purification of mind are only painful. Number 90. O the Lord of all gods, even an ardent desire to listen to the story of your virtuous achievements washes away the dirt of sins from our minds and makes them pure. Number 91. The intellect of those who did not follow the means of this listening but adopted many other paths, such as severe penance, was warped and tasteless and very dry. Number 92. One may listen how to repeat mantras, but if a slight error is committed in pronunciation, there is great loss instead of benefit. Number 93. There is increase in the pride if one listens to scriptures and law books of religion, and even Brahma cannot free that man from this pride. Number 94. In reciting Vedas, there is danger of a fault like Vritrasura, if the pronunciation is not done properly. Number 95. King Ruga, who observed great charity, became a big chameleon in a deserted well. Instead of benefit, lot of loss is to be sustained. Number 96. Rishyasringa began penance, but he was attracted to harlots from the city. Thus, there is no other purifying means than to listen to your glory with deep faith. Number 97. If you decide to follow the path of karma by following the strict rules laid down for it, there are many difficulties in it. The attachment to karma, which the king Prajin Barhi had, was removed by the sage Narada by good advice. Number 98. If Achamam is to be done while doing worship, it is a rule that only that much water is to be held in the hollow open right palm, as a grain of udad will be merged in it. But if water held in the palm is more than that, the worshipper gets the demerit of sipping wine instead of water. Number 99. In short, there is no other means, including penance, etc., for purifying one's mind except to listen with faith to the story of your glorious achievements. Number 100. The king Parikshit was saved from rebirth by listening to God's story only. Crouch was also freed by his listening to the story of your adventures. Matsyendra also became a great Siddha because while he was in the womb of a female fish, he was fortunate to listen to the glorious tale of Sri Krishna's life. 101. Two benefits are gained by listening to your fame. Purification of mind is one, and unity of the Jivas and Brahman is the other. Thus, there is upliftment through both. 102. The fame of the sacred city of Kashi is similar. There, the men listen to the Om, which is the liberating mantra. Therefore, Kashi has become the place where men become liberated. Jiva is liberated there only through the listening to Om. 103. You are always completely in the state of desirelessness. You are the home of all desireless people, but you are also required to do something. That is for freeing your devotees from great illusion. 104. For that purpose, you have taken many births and done many miracles, and you have created a good staircase for people to rise higher towards liberation. 105. Again, we say that the only means for purification of one's mind is to listen to your glorious achievements. Only the purest faith is necessary in that path, and all other efforts are simply lot of troubles. 106. When any other effort is made with some selfish wish, that effort becomes fruitless due to that selfish wish only. Only he who is desireless has a pure heart and he enters the spiritual way of life without delay. 107. The sprout of the seed of our own religious duty is grown in the pitch of water, which is our heart, and the creeper of faith becomes strong there. 108. By the forceful water of listening to the good stories of the divine life of God, the roots of asceticism go deeper and deeper, and by the strong devotion, they grow in the space of inner energy. 109. On the Supreme Person, you are the moon of self-luminosity in that inner space of energy, or the darker one. The seekers have to make tremendous efforts to be able to see your image. 110. Today we are lucky to see those feet personally. So saying all the gods prostrated before the Lord Sri Krishna and again began to praise his lotus feet.
यान्नस्तवङ्घ्रिरशुभाशय धूमकेतुः क्षेमाय यो मुनिभिरार्द्रहृदो ह्यमानः यः सात्वतैः समविभूतय आत्मवद्भिः व्यूहेर्चितः सवनशः स्वरतिक्रमाय.
Meaning of the verse. May your feet serve as fire to consume all our unholy cravings. These feet are contemplated upon by devoted ascetics with love in their hearts for being blessed by you, which are worshipped by devotees in the images of Vasudeva, Pratyumna, etc., to attain your glory, and pray thrice a day that they may transcend the heaven. 111. O Sri Krishna, only the comet of your feet is able to destroy all our sins in all the three worlds. 112. When the fire of your feet touches the wood of sins, it destroys it by burning it to ashes. 113. O Ananda, the devotees always hold dear in their heart your feet, which make the sinners tremble with fear and give solace to loving devotees. 114. That heart is full of devotion and the nectar of love. They hold there your feet by dhyana with great loyalty and enthusiasm. 115. Your feet are a flag which gives assurance about safety to those who meditate upon those feet, forgetting even their hunger and thirst. 116. O Sri Krishna, your devotees worship the four manifestations of your image in order to achieve all the glory of your feet. 117. The four images are called four vortices, and they are Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pratyumna, and Aniruddha. And these are the objects for your worship chosen by the sincere devotees. 118. Knowing that the Lord is one through these images are sorry, knowing that the Lord is one, though these images are different, the devotees worship you with one pointed faith, and that is the reality of your worship. 119. Those who call themselves as Satvata desire to attain the great glory of your supreme feet, and aspiring to reach that state with all the glory of your position, they worship your images with all your manifestation in them. 120. Those who want to escape from the stream of birth and death should worship with undivided faith these four manifestations as they are the divine persons. 121. Those who observe the three sacrifices of the morning, the noon, and evening in order to snap the root of rebirth and worship you and sing songs in your praise at all the three times of the day have already defeated the time as death. 122. There are many other devotees who worship you by observing sacrifices according to the rules laid down in the Vedas and sciences.
यश्चिन्त्यते प्रयतपाणिभिरध्वराग्नौ त्रय्यानिरुक्तविधिनेश हविर्गृहीत्वा अध्यात्मयोग उत योगिभिरात्ममायाम् जिज्ञासुभिः परमभागवतैः परीष्टः.
Meaning of the verse: your feet, which are contemplated in the performance of sacrifice to be in that fire, taking in their outstretched hands the material for putting it in the fire according to the way dictated by Vedas, the feet which are contemplated upon by yogis for self-realization and by the seekers of freedom for understanding the real nature of Maya, which covers the spirit, and feet which are worshipped by the dearest devotees of the Lord. 123. There are your devotees who are very much interested in receiving initiation, eager to worship you by sacrifices, who have disciplined their senses and organs like hands and feet, and who do not allow their hands to perform any other actions. 124. There are those who respect the rituals laid down by Vedas as the standard procedure, those who have the girdle of the three gunas, having invoked inwardly the sacrificial deity who is the Atman of all and is dazzling with the brilliance of spirit. 125. They utter Om and Vashat according to the established method and offer into the pit many sacred food articles. 126. There are some other devotees who undertake yogic exercises, taking yogic postures, mudras, having balance of breathing. 127. They bind their limbs in the tight position called Vajrasana, penetrate by spiritual power called Kundalini, the six chakras in the subtle body, and establish rapport of Kundalini with the 1,000 petal chakra. 128. That way, The great serpent power being hit by the inner hammer of willpower of the yogi becomes awake and begins to raise herself upwards and tries to get the highest abode in the body in the cerebral cavity. 129. On that path, that Kundalini power goes up, transcending the inner points of Autapita, Golhata, and Srihata, situated in the head, and reaches the peak called Brahmarandra, and in that upward path, she squeezes and cleanses the labyrinths of Sahasradhara Chakra. 130. There, the male and female divinities meet, and the greatest spiritual bliss is enjoyed. Study of yoga in this way is the path of yogis who are your devotees. 131. Some worship your feet with the purpose of understanding the nature of your Maya, but O Sri Krishna, O Lord of all gods, your Maya, your power is beyond the capacity of all the people to understand. 132. Maya is not seen if we try to see it, but their mind is deluded by it, and they worship you for attaining occult powers. 133. There is still another group, that is of the seekers of liberation. They are extremely particular in observances of sadhana. 134. Those who want to understand are very eager to worship you mentally, inwardly, so that they would be able to destroy the illusion which covers the Atman. 135. As there is constant awareness of what is right and what is wrong in their mind, what is permanent and what is not permanent, they come upon the understanding that everywhere and in everything you are present. 136. Then, as the temporary things are dropped, they become unreal and only the pure Atman remains. 137. Thus, when one looks at the world around, you are seen everywhere, and then they worship you in any form according to their liking, understanding quite well that through that medium they are directly worshipping you. 138. Whatever they look at, it is only you and nothing else. Thus, they worship your feet without going in for all the rituals.
I think we can stop over here for today. Radha Krishnanji, you can give your thoughts first, what you felt while reading.
Yeah, there are one or two things. Yeah, in this Kali Yuga, I mean, some of them always say, the single-pointed faith in God. In here, in this case, the lotus feet of Krishna is probably the easiest and the best thing to attain moksha. Because if you go through the reading the scriptures, chanting the mantras, there is a possibility that you can mispronounce some words like that and fall that way. Or if you go along the path of karma, unless you do that properly and in the ritualistic way, without attachment, you got a great problem of not attaining moksha. So the best way is through single-pointed devotion to the lotus god, to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna or any God Almighty is probably the best and the easiest way. And I was just thinking about it, and this you were discussing this morning about that, and when we were doing the Pudana Moksham, what is that? Bhuvana Mangala Tai Nama Bhireva, something like that. Yeah. I mean, you're very very correct in saying that one class leads to the discussion topic for the other. So I find it, yeah, quite charming. And the other is what is Maya? I mean, here it is a beautiful way of putting it. What is sleep and what is Maya? Nobody knows what sleep is, but we all experience sleep. But when you ask about how the sleep was, or we can say it was good, but nothing beyond. And if you see a dream, And whatever actions that come up in the dreams, we are not responsible for it. The Atman inside is just, or Paramatma acts, I'd say, just a witness to that, but nothing else. Nobody can describe the sleep, just like nobody can describe Maya as well. Yeah.
Beautifully
The,
summed
the
up.
other thing I wanted to ask you, I don't know, I haven't heard about these four manifestations, Vasudeva, some Karshana, Pratyumna, and Aniruddha. I don't know. I have the four manifestations of images of God or whatever.
Hmm.
Yeah. Right. That's all I have. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, beautiful. Hmm. So when we do Lord Stuti in that, so I'm doing addition of what you have said, that in 89th OV we have this, the Lord's name is the only purifier. All other means of purification of mind are only painful. So we have to listen to the Stutis. And it does happen that when we are engrossed in a chanting or a bhajan, whereas Nama Sankirtan is happening, we forget that time, that how long we were chanting or how long we were singing kirtan. So that is a that statement I liked very much. Then even in verse 98, when they says how to do the achaman, you can't just pour a lot of water in your hand. So only one udad. Udad is like one black gram, urad
Mm.
dal. To soak, only that much water has to be there in the palm. So that in the verse 98 I found very attractive. And also in 99, in short, there is no other means, including penance for purifying one's mind, except to listen with faith to the story of your glorious achievements. So, like the Bhagawat class, which would be there now on this Friday, when we hear Lord's glories, Narayanam is a shortened form of Bhagavatam. So Narayaniam now, because Lord's Janma has happened, now all one stories are coming. Today we saw Putana, Moksha and all. So it really empowers us when we listen to the stories of God. So that 99 I linked over there. I marked 101 also. Like two benefits are gained by listening to your theme. Purification of mind is one, and unity with you is the other. Jivatma Paramatma. Thus there is upliftment through both. So 101 I felt was too beautiful, that the glory of listening to Lord's stories. Then that 107, 108, the metaphor used, and or the simile, I should say, it's so very beautiful. The sprout of the seed of your own religious duty is grown in the pitch of water, which is the heart, and the creeper of faith becomes strong there. And then, by the forceful water of listening to the good stories of divine life of God, the roots of asceticism go deeper and deeper. And by that strong devotion, they grow in the space of inner energy. So I felt this 107, 108, two beautiful example. It's
Yeah.
and the first line after that shloka in the meaning of the verse, may your feet serve as fire to consume all our unholy cravings. So if we keep the Lord's feet image in front of us, it should annihilate our bad desires. Bad desires means like we try to fulfill our desires, and there is nothing called as fulfilling, right? One desire is fulfilled, another 10 are going to crop anyways. And then we go from a house to car to something, and we think of the worldly object. This is one desire, sometimes of consuming something. So it's basically satisfying the senses, which are never going to get satisfied. Maybe from food, from the hunger, that anything can satisfy. But if you have a craving for something, only that would satisfy, the hunger will come. So if I'm really very hungry, I could eat anything, whatever food is available. But then we go for a specific thing, that's one desire. So I felt that may your feet serve as a fire to consume all our unholy this. I felt this is like a mantra, this line where we can hold on so that if anything unholy is there, let it get burnt and let the mind get stabilized on Lord's feet and Lord's stories. When the fire of your feet touches the wood of sins, it destroys it by burning it to ashes. 112. So that much fire we should hold on for the Lord, I felt. Then the explanation of how the Kundalini Shakti rises that came in 126, 127. I like that explanation that how, and 129 also, like how the Kundalini goes up to reach the Sahasrara Chakra. And the last one, which I wanted to say, was at 135. I just love that whole line. As there is constant awareness of what is right and what is wrong in their mind, what is permanent and what is not permanent, they come upon the understanding that everywhere and in everything you are present. So we, as the 2024 is on the way of closing down and 225 is dawning, even if it's a Gregorian year, new year, we still can sow this in our mind that may we also get that vision where everywhere and everything to see the divinity and the Lord in it and give us more devotion. If anybody has any more, please speak of. Thoughts to share? Fine. Then over to you, Radha Krishnanji, for the closing prayers.
I just wanted to say one thing, madam. I think chapter 4 of Bhagavad Gita, shloka 22 to 27 describes about all these yajnas and all. Just to
Yes.
answer to Radhakrishnan sir's this one, the Pradyumna and all, these are the names of the Lord, and they are, when you're doing the Sandhya Vandanams, you will utter these names as well. So I think there was a reference where Eknathi was saying that if you do these acharans thrice a day, then you're completely liberated. Death will not even come near you. So that was one of the points I wanted to tell. So that Vashatkara and all those, they are all the Dev Tarpans which we give, right? Pitra Tarpan, Dev Tarpans and all. In the Dev Tarpan, you have this Vashatkara also. So I just wanted to bring that point for Radhakrishna. You can correct me.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, Venkateshji. That was perfect. I had missed answering also that, but you have thrown light. So that is in OV 117.
One second.
Awesome. Okay.
So what do we say? We just pronounce the name like Om Vasudevaya, like that. Sankara. What do we do?
Vasudevaya
Yeah,
Namah,
yeah. Whatever.
Sankarsana
Yes.
Pradyumnaya Namah, Maniruddhaya Namah. So these comes in the names of the Lord
Yes.
that are chanted.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Even while giving the
Thank you,
medicine, being because a doctor, giving the medicine, and the person who's going to consuming at both the time of giving and when the patient goes home and drink, you have to say Om Achyutaya Namah, Om Anantaya Namah, Om Govindaya. So which I've been following, I don't know, for some years now. Even back in Singapore, when giving the medicine, in the mind you quickly chant Achyutaya Namah, Om Anantaya Namah, Om Govindaya. The efficacy of the medicine goes higher. And the one who's consuming it later should also chant this, the efficacy. So this Achyuta Ananta Govinda is also Lord's name. Like that, for this Sankarshana Pradyumna Niruddha Vasudeva also they empower. So that's why they are called mantras, no? That you keep repeating and they protect you. Mananatrayatil. So many times superficially we may not understand the meaning of a mantra because it is not for the meaning. It is for manana. It is for continuously chanting, and from that they protect. The power of uttering some syllables or thinking of them repeatedly is the healer, and it's not in the meaning. That's why they are mantras.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Varsha
Venkatesh
ji,
ji.
isn't Varsha ji one thing? Isn't it also the name of supposedly the name of his sons, Pradyumna,
Yes.
Correct.
Aniruddha?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So it will
Yes.
come in Bhagavata that they are
Bhagavata.
sons. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Over to you, Radhakrishnan ji. Thank you, Lata ji. Thank you, Venkatesh ji.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om ji. Thank you for such
Hari Om.
beautiful
Thanks.
reading. Again, beautiful Ovis. This is so madhura. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
Leela
Thank you.
Samita ji,
Thank
Venkatesh
you.
ji.
Bye,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om Varsha ji.
Hari Om ji.